So today we're going to do a look inspired by the NRA's lack of empathy for the lives of those lost due to gun violence. So first we're going to use primer, and I like this little elf primer, and it's gold, just like the greed of all of our Republicans. And it separates our foundation from our skin the same way we backpacks are now separating like children from bullets, so you know. And then we're going to fill in our brows with this color. It's called medium brown. It's also the color of people who we call terrorists, but I mean if they're white it's a mental illness. So brown. So now that we have the brows done, we're going to do eyeshadow. Now this palette represents all of our representatives who have taken money from the NRA for their campaigns. To see the amounts for each of them received, you can just click on the link below. But the highest bidder, of course, is our trusty representative, John McCain. But now we're going to do eyeshadow. So it's obvious that we're going to have to use the color red, obviously. I mean, look at all of that blood that's around here. I'm going to use the color red, which obviously represents all the blood that's in our schools now. Apparently, we're drowning in it. So, of course, we need a little green. Green's my favorite color. It represents the color of greed. Who doesn't love a little bit of that? Sorry guys, just had to do a little cut and crease. You know how they're cutting the funding for schools, but increasing the amount of guns that teachers have. So now that we're done with the red, that again represents the blood in our schools. Now we're just going to do a little green. Green, that represents greed. It's called throne, the way the president has taken the throne this year. But you know, don't have any control of that because of the electoral college. Pause. Alright, so now we're going to use black and brown. It represents our black and brown communities that face gun violence every single day. And, you know, just to give you an overview of the palette. So this one is called John McCain, who gets $7 million and $740,000 and $521 in order to get the money that he wants from the NRA so that he can, you know, put guns in schools. And then Richard Burr, he also receives about $7 million a year from the NRA. And then last but not least, Rory Blunt, and he receives $4.5 million from the NRA. Oh, he lucked out. He should have not cared about children more. And of course, we need some black, because, you know, who doesn't love a little black, especially when it's in graves? But yeah. So of course now we need some orange. It's the color that represents gun reform for gun violence. You know, now as you can use these colors aren't complementary the way like guns and teachers aren't complementary, or guns in the government, or you know, just dying people in our schools in general aren't complementary. And lastly, for the eyeshadow, we're going to use a gold, and this gold is going to represent again the money, because you know, who doesn't love money, especially when it comes at the lives of children. So yeah, we're just going to put a little gold on this palette here. Alright, and lastly for the eyes, we're going to put on white eyeliner. White eyeliner makes your eyes look larger. So of course we're all going to look completely terrified when we see our children being murdered on TV. Alright. But now we're going to use foundation. It covers all of my blemishes and flaws, the way the police try to cover up police brutality. Like policemen shot Stephen Clark, who are like being protected in Sacramento Police Station right now. So unfortunately we don't even know their names. Alright, so now we're going to contour. Contouring is kind of like an illusion, like our gun control laws in America. And we have to put lighter under the eyes. We don't want to show we've been losing sleep over the state of our country, so we're just gonna blend that all out.
We're gonna do for the years. Double thing and a real thing. Let's take them home. Free them.
Free them. Free them of this room.
Free her. Alright. I don't know, I can't get to this quote, so I feel like it's not interesting if I can't read it.
Now we add blush. It allows us to pretend like the NRA has empathy for anyone but itself. And lastly, we're gonna just spread that on our cheeks, you know, make it look like we're terrified. And now we're going to use a little highlighter. As you can see, it's gold, representing the greed of our representatives that's taking money from the NRA. Looking at you, Richard Burr. So now we're using black, and it just represents how dark our country's gonna be if we don't start implementing common sense gun laws. Like a little setting spray to seal this look, but hopefully not our current gun laws. So yeah, and now we're done with our makeup. And just a note that this is completely satirical. It doesn't reflect the views of myself or the views of the Wakefield Howler. And in a serious note, that we are really trying to bring awareness about gun laws, and we really truly need to make common sense gun laws to call out politicians so they make this reform. It is always important to vote and to register to vote, even if you're not old enough yet, because we need to vote out the people who are actually causing children to die right now. And there's a fundraiser that I'm going to link below. It helps end gun violence, and it's funded by 8th graders. 8th graders that can't even vote right now, but are still wanting to make a difference and change in their communities. So click the link below, add a couple of dollars if you don't have time to do all this makeup, and I'll see you guys next time.